Welcome to the City of Cleveland, to the City Club of Cleveland. My name is Edward Blakemore, and I am the immediate past president of the City Club New Leaders. Established in October 1912, the City Club has served as one of the nation's premier public forums for civic dialogue covering the important topics of our time. We draw our guest speakers from a variety of fields and backgrounds, providing a national forum for free speech. These speakers, rich in experience and knowledge, are here to spur discussion and learning among citizens of Cleveland as well as to our greater national audience. Today I have the pleasure of introducing a renowned leader and educator, our speaker, Dr. Robert M. Franklin. He's the 10th president of my alma mater, Morehouse College, located in Atlanta, Georgia. However, before I tell you more about Dr. Franklin, I want to tell you a little bit more about Morehouse College. Morehouse is America's largest private four-year liberal arts college for men and the only all-male, historically black college. The college has been recognized by the Wall Street Journal as one of the top 50 feeder schools for graduate study. The college supports a nationally recognized marching band, glee club, mock trial association, and has several distinguished graduates, including Martin Luther King Jr., former Surgeon General David Satcher, Spike Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, and Edwin Moses. As an alumnus, Morehouse College had a profound impact upon my personal growth and development. In addition to creating lifelong friendships with other great men, Morehouse also helped teach me valuable lessons about sacrifice and work ethic. During my years as a student, I saw my parents struggle with multiple jobs to ensure that I could move from Cleveland and attend this wonderful institution. In light of their hard work and the school's challenging economic standards, I knew failure was not an option. I would never have learned that important life lesson about personal sacrifice and work ethic without Morehouse College. Dr. Franklin, I will always be grateful to you and the college for your assistance in that regard. Dr. Franklin was chosen to lead this college in 2007 due to his stellar reputation as a man with unparalleled moral character and his commitment to bettering the lives of all people. In addition to serving as president of Morehouse College, Dr. Franklin consistently provides commentary for Atlanta Interfaith Broadcasting Television and for All Things Considered on National Public Radio. Dr. Franklin is widely regarded as an expert on social ethics, psychology, and African American religion. Prior to joining Morehouse, Dr. Franklin was a Presidential Distinguished Professor of Social Ethics at Emory University. He also has previously served on the faculties of the University of Chicago, Harvard Divinity School, Colgate-Rochester Divinity School, and Emory University's Candler School of Theology, where he gained a national reputation as Director of Black Church Studies. Dr. Franklin has additionally served as a program officer and advisor to the president at the Ford Foundation and as president of the Interdenominational Theological Center, the Graduate Theological Seminary of the Atlanta University Center Institute Consortium. He is active in a wide range of organizations, including serving on several boards and local educational, theological, and community groups, and being past chairman of the board of the Regional Council of Churches of Atlanta. Dr. Franklin has also authored 3 books. Number 1, Crisis in a Village, Restoring Hope in African American Communities. 2, Another Day's Journey, Black Churches Confronting the American Crisis. And 3, Liberating Visions, Human Fulfillment and Social Justice in African American Thought. Dr. Franklin emphasizes the educational benefits of world travel and has visited Africa, Asia, Europe, the Middle East, and the Caribbean. He has studied 7 languages, received a grant from the Ford Foundation to examine religion and public life in Asia, and served as a consultant for the Annie E. Casey Foundation since 2003. Lastly, Dr. Franklin graduated Phi Beta Kappa from Morehouse College with a degree in political science and religion, earned a Master of Divinity degree in Christian social ethics and pastoral care at Harvard Divinity School, and earned a doctorate in ethics, society, religion, and social sciences at the University of Chicago. As already acknowledged, he's married to Dr. Cheryl Goffney Franklin and is the father of 3 children. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to introduce such a widely respected leader and educator today. So please join me in welcoming Robert M. Franklin, president of Morehouse College, to the City Club of Cleveland.
Well, thank you a great deal. I appreciate that very generous introduction. The introduction may be just slightly longer than my speech. But thank you, Ed. You're a distinguished alumnus, and it's great to be with you. To Margot Copeland, what an extraordinary business and civic leader. Thank you for your commitments, for your leadership. To all of the family of Key Bank, with whom I spent some very Precious moments yesterday in conversation to Henry Meyer, President, and all of the leadership. It's a real delight to share in partnership between KeyBank and Morehouse College. I'm delighted also to stand at this podium, this very historic forum for ideas and discourse, advancing the cause of an informed democracy. And so it's a real pleasure, Mr. Foster, and to Gary and all of you who run this terrific program. I'm honored to be a part of this great series. I noted last year, in fact, Dr. Beverly Tatum, the president of the esteemed Spelman College, was a speaker. She is an extraordinary educational leader. There are a few Spelman women here today who I see quietly applauding at the mention of Spelman. I'm trying to set a tone of respect and mutual cooperation between our two esteemed institutions. It has always existed, and it is even stronger now as Beverly Tatum and I work together and encourage our students to do likewise. I also want to thank my dear wife, who isn't able to travel with me often, but joins us on this trip. She was looking forward to it, and you've extended wonderful, wonderful, almost southern hospitality here in the great city of Cleveland. Well, it's, again, very good to be with you, and I really want to share three big ideas with you today. The first is the notion that innovation, new ideas, creative thinking, creative destruction often emerges from the margins of society rather than the center. Because often the center of an organization, the center of society, the mainstream, if you will, often tends to overmanage, even suppress certain kinds of disruptive creativity. So I want to make a case for innovation in all of our organizations and in our society as a whole. Second, I'd like to say a word about HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, and the extraordinary public good they serve, because I know that there is a public debate nowadays about their value, utility, and sustainability. And then third, offer a brief reflection on, and something of a report, on what colleges and universities are doing to advance the United States as a global partner and a global leader, given the language that President Obama has employed, suggesting that America is once again ready to lead and ready to listen. I was delighted to hear Secretary of State Clinton say that very clearly. We are here to listen. And so I think that's an important model for all of us at this time. My talk is actually titled The Educational and Ethical Imperatives of Globalization. The Educational and Ethical Imperatives of Globalization, the Role of Higher Education. But before I move to that, I do want to move really to that second point and just say a word about an extraordinary cadre of institutions that many Americans know too little about. And that is that small swath of higher education institutions known as America's historically black colleges and universities. There are only 105 HBCUs in this country, and I think that they do more than their fair share supplying the nation with exceptional leaders, with good citizens, and have quite an impressive track record to show for it. In fact, I'd like to note that most of these schools were founded after the Civil War, and so their time in the nation, in our nation's history, is relatively brief when you think about places like Harvard, founded in 1636, or Yale in 1701. Most of the black colleges came online in the 1860s, 70s, and thereafter. Although I must note that Ohio lays claim to the proud and noble claim of being the home of the nation's first private black university, Wilberforce, founded in 1856, so before the war. Although I have friends in Pennsylvania today who might quarrel